Psalm 127, a song of ascents, of Solomon. Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchman stays awake in vain. It is vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil, for he gives to his beloved sleep. Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior are the children of one's youth. Blessed is the man who fills his quiver with them. He shall not be put to shame when he speaks with his enemies in the gate. In verse 2 of the psalm, we are commanded, or advised at least, that it is vain to rise up early and go to bed late. Anxiously working in all hours of the night and day to try and accomplish something that we have set our minds to do. It's similar to what verse 1 says, unless the Lord is behind your endeavor, you're endeavoring in vain. And so we ought to keep perspective, and we ought not anxiously work at things, but rest when the time comes to rest. Charles Spurgeon wrote about verse 2, the psalmist is exhorting us to give over undue and anxious labor to accomplish our purposes. The phrases in the Hebrew are making early to rise and making late to sit. Not up, but down. This means an artificial lengthening of the day. The law of work is in our nature. The limitations of effort are set forth also in nature. In order that all may be accomplished by the human race, which is necessary to be done for human progress, all men must work. But no man should work beyond his physical and intellectual ability, nor beyond the hours which nature allots. No net result of good to the individual or to the race comes of any artificial prolonging of the day at either end. Early rising, eating one's breakfast by candlelight, and prolonged vigils, the scholars' so-called midnight oil, are a delusion and a snare. Work while it is day. When the night comes, rest. Seems like pretty simple advice, and I certainly understand that there are those of you who might work a night shift. I understand that all takes place, but I think the purpose and the reality behind this is we ought not believe that our hands, our toil, our labor is adding anything unto what the Lord is trying to accomplish through us. In other words, we work because we are commanded to, because it is good to work, but we also rest because we ultimately know that He is God and that His purposes will be accomplished, and we are designed, created with that rhythm and that habit of work and rest. So instead of laboring and toiling early in the morning and late into the wee hours of the night, may I suggest a different tack. May we put our hearts and our affections on Christ, on Jesus in the morning when we rise, and late at night when we go to bed. Let's have this song in our hearts. Give me Jesus. know the last verse says, "When I come to die," but let's change that for this psalm, this song, sing when we go to bed.